This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
The Still a Man platform, where real conversations leads to real growth. Every Monday, step into Man in the Mirror, a platform where people come to share their journey, their past, their present, and the future. Real stories, real reflections, and real transformation. On Tuesdays, tap into the heart of the conversation with Still a Man podcast, honest talk, raw truth, and the kind of realness most people are afraid to dig into. And every Wednesday, ease into the middle of your week with Wind Down Wednesday, your space to reset, release, and recharge. 3 shows, 3 experiences, 1 platform built on truth, growth, and connection. Support the movement, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. Mondays, Man in the Mirror. Tuesdays, Still a Man podcast. Wednesdays, Wind Down Wednesday. This is the Still a Man platform. Real talk, real life, real people.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Well, gotta tell y'all, tonight's conversation has been inspired by, I did a interview last year, at the closing of last year, with 2 young ladies regarding prison reform. And I told them I felt like that would be a great topic. And as I was doing my research, I learned a lot of interesting things about this prison reform. And it's something that we need more of on the state level. It appears that they have a law, I believe it is the First Step Act. It's for federal prisoners, and it's something that went into effect in 2018. It was signed into as a law by President Donald Trump in his first term. All right. So that being said, let's talk about this prison reform and how it affects our community and subsequently people of color. All right. Let's see. Let's go to our first question. Open notes. All right, so needless to say, I invited a lot of people that had, some information about this. So as I was talking about the ladies that we interview, unfortunately, they're not able to join us, but I am more than certain that my panel can handle this discussion, this topic. All right, let's go with question number 1.
Who's on the panel tonight?
Okay, that's good. Well, yep, keep me on my right page. All right, so tonight we got Tanya, we got Patsy, we got Sean, we got Bird, we got Robert, and I don't know if Kiana's logged back in yet. And Bodega was supposed to join us tonight, but he said he won't be able to join us because he's at the hospital with his daughter. Pray all is well, whereas that's concerned. But that's that. We're gonna make do with what we got. All right. Question number 1. According to research, mass incarceration is not about the crime. It is more so about the control. Subsequently, the label of criminals has become justification for exclusion and mistreatment. Again, let me give you guys this one more time.
Yeah, that was long.
Yeah. According to research, mass incarceration is not about the crime. It is more so about control. Subsequently, the label of criminal has become the justification for exclusion and further I don't know what. Well, anyways, mistreatment. All right. So, do you guys agree or disagree with that? So, basically, in a nutshell, he's saying it has very little to do with the crime that was committed, more so about controlling them and labeling them so they can continue to exclude them and oppress them. So, that's layman's terms. All right. Let's go to Burr first. Burr, how do you feel about that? Do you agree or disagree with them?
I don't know if I even, you're saying that mass incarceration is not about the crime, but it's about control and mistreatment.
Basically, that's what they said. Once you get in there, it just gives them an excuse. It justifies the exclusion and the oppressing them even more so.
I agree. It is very much about control and oppressing you and breaking you down and treating you like shit and pushing you to the limit to hope that you do something crazy and get more time.
Okay. What you say, Sean?
I agree as well. I mean, we didn't even know what mass incarceration was until this took place. The name itself comes from the actual action.
Okay. Patsy, what do you say? You agree or disagree?
I agree.
Tanya?
I agree, but it goes even further than that. It's the crime. The time don't fit the crime, so it starts with the crime that they're charging them with. That doesn't. How can I say this? They hitting them with massive charges that don't fit the crime that they committed, and going through a preordained systemic court that's causing the mass incarceration.
Okay. Like where this is going already. Brimage, what do you say?
I agree with the team.
Okay. Oh, all across the board. Did everybody get a chance to answer that they wanted to answer? All right. Does anyone care to add to their answer to the question? Okay. Let's go on to question number 2. Does the prison system value the promise of profit or prisoner reform? So again, does the prison system value the promise of profit or prisoner reform? Patsy, what do you say? Do they care more about their dollar or the labor that they get for free from the prisoners as opposed to getting them ready to re-enter into the free world?
I think for the most part they're more concerned about the dollar, but then depending on which state and which jails or correction facilities actually want reform and try to focus more on the reform of it than the dollar of it. But across the board, they're looking at the dollar.
Okay. Danya, what do you say?
I'm gonna agree with Patsy. It depends on the state and the facility and who runs the facility, and it has to do with some the race too as well, because it depends on that. That is all a tool on whether it's more about the money. For some, it is about the money and about the number, and for others, it's about the reform. Because you have some facilities that take away the programs that can help a person do the reform, and some facilities only allow certain people to get into the reform programs. So it's a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, one more time for the guys. Does the prison system value the promise of profit or prisoner reform? Sean?
To answer the question, I say both. But to piggyback off of what Tanya just said, that a lot of the prisons are private prisons.
Mm-hmm.
So because they're private, they need to make a profit. And so that is more of their focus than to actually reform their prisoners, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Bert, what do you say?
The prison system is definitely based on profit. They have to keep those prisons full, to keep those prisons open. I ain't heard no jail or no prisons closing other than Cambridge. That was a county jail. But they're about profit. Especially the canteen market is probably the biggest money maker in history.
Mm.
Amen to that.
Mm-hmm.
All profit. And they sell that food, and that's how they make their money. Big bucks. Millions of dollars are coming in through every jail's canteen system. Profit.
Let me let Robbie answer this, and then I'm gonna hit y'all with something else to go along with what Bert just said. Robbie, same question. Does the prison system value the promise of profit or prisoner reform?
They're in the business to make money, so they're gonna value the profit. Uh, let's see. In this world right now, I think earlier I was doing this. It's like 10.9999999 million people in the prison system. So why do you think prison reform would be the first thing they're focusing on? They're not. Because every time they put a person in jail, their bank accounts go up. I think each prison, if I'm right, makes about $74 billion yearly. They're not giving up none of that money. So they'll keep people inside their prison so they can keep the money coming in.
$74 billion a year per prison?
Yeah, for most of them.
Wow. And we have like how many prisons in Massachusetts? Anybody know offhand?
Not really.
Probably county, state. You gotta check all that.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. So I don't understand. Again, I understand that they're making a profit, but who's getting this money, and what are they putting it towards? Because I don't understand why the states are struggling if you got these damn prisons making 74 allegedly $billion.
Yes.
You should be taxing them and taxing them greatly.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
mean,
they said that's in America prisons where they're making that money.
yeah, I also read
Do they have a tax exempt?
They do, but we as taxpayers, we pay
Uh-huh.
for the prisons.
ain't
And
that
to
something?
back up what Robert just said, I just looked it up, and it says our prison system costs taxpayers at least
Mm.
$80 billion per year.
$80 billion.
Right.
Good job, Sean. Back me up.
You know what? Let me tell y'all
And
something.
this is what I don't
Yeah,
understand. Before you say what you're gonna say,
go ahead.
if they make that much money a year, that's plenty of money to still have reform programs.
Mm.
And then they make the money. Some of that money is coming from the canteen, like Bird said. You can't even bring stuff up there to your family no more.
Let me tell you something. Again,
Phone
wealthy,
system, canteen system. Major.
the wealthy white man club. Again, wealthy white man club. Y'all are some trifling trifling individuals. We sitting up here last year before the holidays worrying about people not getting SNAP benefits and stuff, and we giving $80 billion to these mother suckers to incarcerate our people and mistreat them even more so once they get them in there. Yeah, our humanity is gone. It's lost, and it don't seem like it's ever gonna find its way back. This is utterly ridiculous.
I got one more set of numbers for you all real quick before we get
I
out.
don't know if my heart can take it, but go ahead, hit it.
It says the median annual cost per prisoner in the U.S. is around $65,000.
$65,000 per
prisoner. Yep.
That's how much they get
a year.
So,
And some states exceed $100,000 per inmate per year.
And you know what? Let me go back to something. I heard this said often that the the prison system is the new plantation, and there those numbers show that, and that's why it's highly profitable. That's why they want to keep you in there and stuff like that.
And that's why they're building more.
That's
exactly,
right.
Exactly. And you creating conditions that are going to call to lead to crime, to more crime, just so you can lock people up. So you creating harsher situations for them, so they have to turn to that. And let's remember too, they also consider people that start using drugs and stuff due to their environment, the conditions of their environment, to cope with the loss and the poverty and stuff like that. That's considered a crime too. So you locking them up for that too. And then you locking the people up to sell the drugs to them, but you bring the drugs into the community and stuff, allow them to get them in there. Y'all turn the blind eye to it. You got police officers killing people on the street. It's
not being investigated.
Yep, and then you got police. Well, we might as well call them police officers. Let's say officers, correction officers, killing people in the jail. Hence, what just happened? What was that? South Bay. Where did they find out what happened to that gentleman? No one knows. No follow up.
No.
Well,
I don't know.
Something that
but it's a cycle, Dave, because you got the president pardoning criminals, and the criminals that he's pardoning is not us.
Well, if they have our skin color, they got the best color, the greenbacks is what they're looking for. So no matter what your skin color is, if you black, you can buy your freedom back if you got those greenbacks. Enough of them. Bird said something along several times last year about money runs everything. And apparently so in this situation too. This is like crazy. This is wow. Woo! This is now y'all got my mind like turning. So this is why
it's big business.
At first, very big business. This is the replacement truly for the plantation money. The money that y'all got from that, y'all incorporated it into this prison system. So now what y'all do is this is why when the war was over, a lot of you trifling mother suckers headed up north. You didn't want to be up north. You didn't want to be amongst the Yankees. But as soon as y'all seen there was profit up north, y'all brought your little happy asses up here, and you started up this prison system and other places, and y'all making all this money, and y'all abandoned them plantations because now you can make the money within the prison system. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna go on record and tell y'all we will be having more than likely another conversation about this conversation. So I'm telling you right now, out of one conversation leads into another. So don't be surprised if we revisit this topic again. Because now I'm like really, really even more so interested. I was interested anyways. I felt like I was going to get some good information from you guys, and I'm I'm loving it. I'm glad you guys was y'all got a lot to say. All right. Anybody got anything else to add before we go to question number 3?
Mm-mm.
All right. Bert, you still with us? Bert? I think we lost Bert. All right.
His mic is off.
All right. Bert, turn your mic on.
I hear you. I was out of the room.
All
Trying
right,
to
no
think.
worries. Question number 3. Is it harmful to imprison young offenders and non-violent offenders with adult violent offenders? Bert, you're up first.
Um, uh, Jail is jail, man. I don't know. I don't. I mean, me working in the DYS game, having like, I don't think the age was, there was a difference under the Prison Rape Elimination Act that they didn't put younger kids with older kids. Um, I don't think you would want to put a shoplifter on the same unit as a murderer, but that happens, and that's the way the system is set up. Everybody goes wherever, other than if, like, a sex offender, you're going into a PC unit, or a rapist, you're going into a PC unit. You don't live good on a unit. They ask you for your paperwork, you either get beat out or you check out. So
Wow.
I definitely see that's the game. Everybody goes with everybody. Should it be a hardcore murderer in the same cell with, a car thief? It may be conducive to that car thief because now you got a lifer telling you, showing you the game, and you either adapt or adjust. You become the prey or the predator, or the hunter or the hunted. That's the game in jail.
AOP, adapt or perish.
Fair to say.
Um, all right. But wait a minute, B, what about the youngsters, the young offenders? Should they be do you think it's fair for them to be housed with the hardened criminals?
Um, like when you say youngster, I mean there's age limits. You going up at
So let's say we get a kid sentenced at 18 and they're in there with the big boys.
you better learn. I don't think there's no discrimination in the game. Young, old, crime or
Minister of
not. You're
Conspiracy
going
has joined the meeting.
One more time, big.
it don't matter, young or old, you're getting in the same unit. I don't Is it fair? I would say no.
Okay. All right, let's go to Robert. Robert, is it harmful to imprison young offenders, non-violent offenders with the adult violent offenders?
Yes, it is because um, the one that did lesser crime, especially if you just did a little petty theft, you went in the store, stole some bubble gum, and they want to put you in jail with a person that have a lifetime career of robbing houses. This child that went in there and stole some bubble gum from the store is now going to learn how to be a bigger thief, learning the tricks how to, rob houses now when he gets out. The prison reform is not going to save that because some people, while they're in jail, they're highly influenced by other inmates. So you have to survive in there too. You might have to get in a fight or protect yourself. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Them guards allow to happen to set you up to keep you in there longer. So any type of staying in a room with a person that did a more serious crime than you, it's still going to be the same outcome. You're in jail. You're seeing a lot of stuff that go on there: rape, murder. You're being mistreated, talked to like crap. There's a lot of stuff you deal with. Are you really coming out with a sane mind? Because most of them people in there on meds too.
Mm, okay. Patty, what do you say? Is it harmful to house young offenders, non-violent offenders with the adult violent offenders?
Is it hard?
Harmful?
Oh yeah, it's harmful because if you got a 17 or 18-year-old charged as an adult with whatever crime that they've committed, even if it's like more minor than some of the crimes that have been committed by others, like murder, child molestation, or whatever it is, it's harmful for them because they're not really getting the services that they need to come back out um with a better mindset
Mm,
or attitude.
okay. T, what you say?
I'm going to say that it's harmful because a youngster's mind isn't fully developed until they're 25. So if you put a young person in there with a hardened criminal, you're proning him to be institutionalized,
Mm,
and therefore that keeps the money flowing.
mm-hmm.
And
65,000, right? That was the count?
that was the count. And you're creating a criminal. If
Mm,
he was in there for a petty theft, he has the opportunity to be reformed because his mind is still not fully developed. So he has the opportunity to be taught what's right and what's wrong. You putting him in there with a hardened criminal, that criminal is taking advantage of him, making him his little bitch. Sorry for the crass words, but that's how it goes down in the jails. And making him feel like he's worthless. So when he goes back on the street, he's gonna behave the way he feels,
mm,
and that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna enter him right back up in the house.
Mm-hmm.
reconditioning them. Okay. Sean, let's get your views. Is it harmful to imprison young offenders and non-violent offenders with the adult violent offenders?
In my personal opinion, I think it is. Um, and just to piggyback off of everything that Tanya just said, um, they can go in there, do something minor, get sentenced, be charged as an adult, be put in with, the harder criminals, whatever the case may be, and their whole mindset has to change because where they were probably innocent in age, but out doing mischievous things that ended them up in there,
Mm-hmm.
they now have to take on a whole nother persona because now they're in a survival state situation.
Has joined the meeting. Mm-hmm. One more time, Sean.
That's it. So now they end up in a survival state of mind.
Mm.
Bird used the phrase earlier. I liked it. I sorry I can't remember what it was, but towards the end of his soliloquy, he had a phrase that would sum up what I was trying to say.
Well, we'll go. Maybe he'll remember. And he
New
can.
age, new age slavery.
No. You were saying something about their mindset. He had asked you a question about how they would have to be once they get in there, and you
Yeah,
said
you get
something.
Oh,
savagery.
yeah, it was
That
a
shit
Yeah,
Dapper
brings out the
Parish.
savage. Yeah.
yeah. You said something along those lines, but it was a phrase that you used that I liked.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, if you remember, Bird, if you remember, you can enlighten us. All right, we got Timmy that joined us, we got Gregory that joined us, and we got Kiana. Let's bring those guys into the discussion. All right, guys. So we are on question number 3. Is it harmful to imprison both the young offenders and nonviolent offenders with the adult offenders. We're gonna go to Kiana first. Kiana?
Yes, it's absolutely harmful to have children with grown men and um adolescents with hardened criminals. Um Again, as I've said, we've said many times, the their minds don't develop until they're in their mid to late 20s. So let's just even say a 30-year-old and a 15-year-old, there's nothing that they have in common except maybe male body parts, but their mind, the way they think, the way they process is not the same. So that's like asking a kindergartner to teach high school. They're not even in the same league. They don't even speak the same language. So it's very harmful.
Okay. What do you say, G?
I think that's very dangerous if you ask me. They shouldn't have no adults mixing and mingling with the younger crowd anyways, especially if the crimes are not of the same nature. Why would you even want to put somebody who probably made a mistake up in with somebody that's an actual animal?
Hmm. Okay. Timmy, what's your perspective? You got to turn your mic
Well,
on.
it's like this. You had kids out here that was doing adult crimes. So the system started feeling like because they was repeaters. So the system felt like, okay, and the public felt like we have to do something about these kids and their violent adult crimes that they're doing. So it started charging them as an adult. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people for things until their kids get wrapped up into it, and then they want to try to change the rules because it's their kids. And this is the thing, you got to tell your kids you do bad things, you do the wrong thing, that you can't come back from it, then hey, that's the consequences. Because everybody know there's consequences for your actions.
Huh? So let me jump in here. So I think it's quite harmful to house a, a young prisoner, a young offender with a let's say a repeat offender or either a violent offender because this person is new. You know, they're being exposed to things that they wasn't exposed to in the outside world and stuff like that because uh allegedly jail is a whole different world. Um, you know, I don't think that they look out for the younger people. There's no way they can hold on to their innocence upon entering this whole system. Um, it changes them. It changes them greatly. I don't care if you spent a week in prison and you got out, you changed. Now, you might be able to get back to who you used to be, but let's talk about all the young people that lost their their lives or lost their manhood, been raped by some of them older prisoners that just totally took advantage of them. Or a lot of them did went in there, like someone said earlier, for a misdemeanor, and now they're in there, they're up on murder because they had to protect themselves because people was trying to, take something from them. Like I said, again, probably their manhood, probably their canteen, probably other things, or they got down with a certain group of people so that they won't get picked on. So now they got to prove themselves to these individuals, and they already know what the setup is. Everybody in there knows what it is. Even some of us that haven't been to prison, we know because we know individuals that have, and what they have shared with us while they was in jail and once they got out. It's a crazy thing. And I think too, we got to remember there's a lot of racial disparity involved with this too, because I don't I'll say this again, the oppressors, the people that don't reside within our community make a lot of decisions about our community. So those are the people that are in the jury box. Those are the people that's sitting on the committees regarding sentencing and pre-release and all that other stuff. It's like it's real crazy. There's a lot of different like issues that go hand in hand with making these decisions about these young people and where people are housed. And not to mention, again, once you get into jail, they got their own rules. It's just crazy. It's not for anybody. Let's just talk about the cages. It's for animals get put in cages. So you put people in cages, what the hell you think they're gonna act like?
But Dave, I was watching Judge Mathis. A lady had four her sons on TV asking for help. Two of them go to school. The other two in the street. They're all in the street, but two of them go to school, right? And Judge Mathis told the mother because they selling drugs, they bringing guns in the house, they got shot at. The judge told her, lock them up. She said, they don't want to listen to you. Lock them up. They'll go to jail and they'll get shown what it really means because they had the program Scared Straight where they took a bunch of kids to jail to reform them and make them rethink about going into jail. But you got other people that been to jail come out act like jail was a piece of cake, it wasn't nothing. They act like jail's fun. So they get in mixed perception of what jail is until they really go behind there and see for themselves that it ain't nothing what those people said it was.
Yeah, I question those individuals. Those are like the people that sign up for a second tour in war, go re-enlist and stuff like that. Again, I think that you've lost your mind.
Let me
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Dave. No, go
Um,
ahead.
um, so I was just gonna add to that. So my father said the only people that like to keep going back and forth to jail is someone that's homesick or they either left someone or something there and they want to go and recover it. And in some situations, I understand fully where he's coming from. T.
I was just gonna say this is not a black or white situation. There's a lot of nuances that plays into this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, it's your environment, it's your home status, it's the systemic situations that have already been put in place to keep people down, to keep them having to fight for stability. And some situations putting them in an instance where they have to commit crimes to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I alluded to earlier.
Let me comment on what you just said too, about the people leaving something behind. And then there's some of these people that actually don't have nowhere to go and they feel like it's better for them to be institutionalized than to be out on the streets because they don't have nowhere.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Hold on, guys. I want to revisit something too, because B, I didn't forget what we talked about. It's got like distracted for a moment. Earlier on, you mentioned something about the canteen. I want to go back to that before we go to the next question. So you was like, they charge a lot of money for the canteen. That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, is the food selection better in the canteen that's coming from the kitchen?
It's like it's how can I say? They have meats and stuff. I don't know what the cost of it is, but stuff like shampoo and deodorant and that kind of stuff that you can get out here for like $1 or something, it's like $2 or $2.50 or something inside.
Mm. So again, like I said, I'm very ignorant to this because I ain't had no stents in there and I don't plan on it. I
What was
just
the question, David? The
so
food?
me, so but yeah, Tanya elaborated, but not just the food, but the
The
like let's
can
say the supplies, like the toiletries and stuff like that. Is it a better selection as to what they're offering you, like if you get from the kitchen or upon entry?
No. If you coming in off the street, you're getting some Bob Barker products. Bob Barker, the Price is Right, is a billionaire. They supply all the basic hygiene, the underwear, the socks, the white t-shirts. They supply all of that to the prisons, which they're probably making a killing. Now you can buy a pair of shorts out of canteen, that's about it. A pair of sneakers out of canteen, some straight strap up bobos for like $70. It's
mm,
disgusting.
$70.
It's,
yes,
it's
and
disgusting to have
stuff
a pair of
and
sneakers.
stuff like rice aroni because let me just put it out there. I'm supporting someone who's in the stamp right now.
Mhm.
And the things that I go on, he don't ask for much, okay? He asks for stuff like um deodorant, shampoo, skincare, little packs of noodles, chips, stuff like that. Cookies, stuff like that. You only can spend some. They only allow them to spend $100.
A week. You can
Well,
only spend
isn't
a
that
hundred dollars a
kind
week.
of them? $100 per week. They got like how many damn prisoners in
The
there?
reason why that being is because if you spend $500 a week, you become their store. The prison lose out on money now. They're not selling what they could be selling to all the other
Right,
inmates
right.
because you came in there and capitalized. You cutting their throat now.
And even if I wanted to put money on the books, they only allow you to put up to $300.
Mm.
Mm.
Plus, they tell you $20 can get you some batteries. It can get you some soap and some good toothpaste.
And then you paying a fee on top of that for the processing fee to put the money on the books.
They sell baking soda in there?
Timmy has joined the meeting.
Because if they sell baking soda in there, baking soda could be, it's multi-purpose. You can use that for deodorant. You can use that for mouth care, brush your teeth and your tongue. You can even use that probably to bathe with.
They sold baking soda in there. They'll be cutting drugs with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, take that off the list. Because that's
And
last.
they ain't gonna put that on the list just for that reason right there.
So that would be known as what? Contraband?
I would assume
Yes,
so.
sir.
Mm, okay. All right. Does anybody else got anything to add before we go on to the next question? The more y'all tell me about this place, I know it ain't no place I want to vacation. I'm not into people telling me when to sleep, when to wake up, when I can take a shower, what I can eat. I don't eat everything everybody else. Yeah, I'm going to the hole because we ain't gonna get along. We are not gonna get along. And you ain't gonna just be beating on me. There's gonna be a misunderstanding. Um, Question number 4. This is a good one. Should prisoners who are married before their imprisonment be allowed to have conjugal visits? Let's ask the ladies about this first. Patsy, what do you say?
Not before they sentence, and if you're in jail and you're married, even if I believe, even after the sentencing and you're serving time, you shouldn't even be allowed. It should be an automatic divorce.
Really?
Um, depending on the time of sentencing, how long you got, if it's more than 10, 15, 20 years, that should be an automatic divorce.
Yeah, Patsy, I didn't expect you to say that. I ain't gonna even lie. Tanya, what do you say? Should prisoners who are married before their imprisonment be allowed conjugal visits?
Oh, yes. They used to let you do that.
You said used to.
Yeah, I don't know if they still do.
Hmm. Okay.
I think it depends on
The crime.
well, not so much the crime. It depends on
The state, the
the
jail.
facility too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I when I took my vows, it was through sickness and in health, and I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
That's just me.
So if they allow
Somebody,
it, you going in.
huh?
So if they allow it, you're all for
I'm gonna go there and see him and give him what he needs.
it. Duchess, what's your perspective?
Can you repeat the question?
Should prisoners who are married before their imprisonment be allowed conjugal visits?
I mean, because our system is so screwed, a lot of people are getting jail time and they're not supposed to. So yeah, why not?
Okay. All right, let's get the gentleman's perspective. Sean, what do you say?
I mean, from what I understand, when you go to prison, there's a lot of rights that you lose, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, I think still getting be the bee to the sunflowers should be one of those things taken away.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay. Robbie, what do you say?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Sean. I don't think you should be rewarded. You're in there for a reason to be punished. Hey, they come and give me something that's gonna make you feel like it's your birthday. No, I think that you should do your time. Let all that stuff bottle up. Wait till you get out. Take the cap off of it. That's when you're out. But while you're in, there should be no special privileges going on for a husband or a wife.
Okay. Gregory?
Um, well, here's the thing, right? If you're going up there to do this deed, um, is it taking some type of morality off of the person that's going up there to sleep with this man that's in jail? Or I don't really see the problem in allowing that to happen, especially if they was already married before the person got arrested. And then what's the difference of these people that end up having some type of pen pal relationship and end up getting married while they're in jail and then they get the conjugal visits? I mean, I don't see the oh, I'm gonna punish you so severely that you're not gonna be able to see your wife is I don't get where that would be stemming from unless you're trying to really build up some negative characteristics in this person that's being rehabilitated.
Okay. Now, B, what do you say?
I can speak on both ends of the game by saying yes, as a prisoner, I would love to have my wife come up and still be have intimacy and human female contact, but now on the citizen side, I would say hell to the no. I mean, do you want a cold-blooded murderer to have um sexual things while he's doing 30 years in prison? Would you want a child molester to want to have sex with his wife? Or, I mean, I don't want to distinguish it by the crime, but yeah, I think maybe the severity of the crime or the amount of good time, maybe incentive to earn, but some don't care because they want that jailhouse pussy, that booty.
Mm, mm.
So it don't matter. One way or another, someone doing 20, 30 years is going to get some booty or get some pleasure, some oral fixation or something, right? That's just an unfortunate part of being down so long with no female intimacy. You tend to get it some way.
They
Yeah.
gonna
So it could avoid the raping concept that's going on in the prison system by allowing it, but I don't think it should be rewarded at all. I mean, I would say one for all for one. Would I be feel different about a car thief doing a year and a half? You don't need conjugal visits, right? That's not even. You got to do that time and eat that 3, 5, anything 10 years or up, depending on the crime, and you earning good time, you can earn conjugal time if that's what it takes to get you to behave and stop the violence. And I've been watching this show on I don't even know what station. They leave the cells open, no guards, no locked doors. You guys figure this out.
It's called
Yeah, yeah,
Unlocked.
that's a
It's really
test.
good.
It's
It's an
a study they're
experiment.
doing on
It's an
that show.
experiment, is what it's
Yeah,
called.
I seen it, but I didn't finish watching it. It's a doggone test they're doing.
don't
I've
worry.
been
Soon
through
as
I've been
someone
through
get
two
murdered,
seasons.
they're gonna shut those doors.
No, because they're allowing the inmates to
No,
police themselves.
that I was about to say that's the thing because they have so many people that's getting these privileges. You got certain inmates that's not gonna let there be
Right.
one. What do
Well,
you call
they
them?
break it's a race
One
thing.
person to
It breaks
mess it
up
up for
into
everybody.
it
One
breaks up
monkey ain't
into
gonna
a
stop
whole
the
race
show.
called. But then they do well and they get incentives. They got free phone calls. They all got $50 money for canteen, so everybody was eating. Everybody got free calls to their family. Some people, as the weeks go on, they get incentive to stay doing better. You get a visit now. You didn't get any visits, but now you get to have a visit through a glass. But that's better than nothing because they weren't allowed visits there. So I think incentively, it can be processed
Okay.
as an incentive, but I don't see a hardcore murdered, a husband, a wife, and 4 children. You don't deserve nothing. You deserve the rock.
Mm.
You don't
They,
get no luxuries in life anymore. You've given that away.
Especially if you murdered a wife and now you got another lady. The lady coming up there should be sick to her. She should feel some type of way.
They're
Even
not. They're not.
morality needs to
They're
kick
not.
in somewhere in that mother
They're
snuck.
not. They're
They're
not.
just
There are
looking for
some
love.
women that are attracted to these hardened prisoners, these murderers. They know that these are serial killers, and they go and they marry these mother suckers. Mm. Timmy, what do you say? What's your perspective?
Well, they did have conjugal visit for some states do that for married couples, and I agree along with Bird. I think it should be an incentive to good time, and when you give people incentives to do good, to do better, when you give those incentives, they want to do better just so they can get that incentive. So I think that is a good idea. Give incentives to those who's doing well and wish to rehabilitate everybody else, because that there shows that you are trying, and you trying to redirect not just your own thoughts. You're redirecting other people's thoughts and the part with you, because they too want to gravitate to something that's going to make them change, that's going to change them, and not to mention to get time knocked down. Of course, you're going to go through the necessary things to try to knock down time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
You got more?
Now go ahead.
All right, so let me stay right there, Timmy. I'm gonna hit you with the next question. All right, everybody, this is the fifth question. Does a lack of education impede a prisoner's rehabilitation or their eligibility for probation? So again, does a lack of education impede a prisoner's rehabilitation or their eligibility for probation? Timmy? So if they don't have, if they don't choose to partake in the education that they're offering them, should that prevent them from getting probation?
No. Uh I mean, if you're trying to get out, I would think you want to do it, but you know, they got in certain states again, they got where, you know, inmates done got degrees and whatnot. They got goddamn physical physician uh certificates while they're in jail.
PhD.
Getting masters and bachelors while they're in jail. So if you want to learn and expand your mind and now that a lot of them, you know, read the law books just so they can try to find something in the law books that's gonna help them reduce their time or turn their sentence over. So you got a lot of damn jailhouse lawyers and whatnot.
Okay.
So I mean, education is a is a great thing because it expands your mind. A lot of them ain't got nothing but time, so they reading a lot of books and whatnot. Now, some of them it'll enhance their knowledge and their thinking. Some of them it'll enhance that negative thought and their negative thinking.
Okay. Let's go to Bird. Bird, same question. Question number five. Does a lack of education impede a prisoner's rehabilitation or their eligibility for probation? Bird? All right, we'll come back to
I don't I don't want to say a lack of education could interrupt or interfere in your parole. It would be a lack of behavior.
okay.
Nonviolent criminals are getting out of jail on the regular. If you can go in there and do your time, they give you time off for good time, and you can get other time taken off if you sit in an AA group or you sit in an anger management group. So they could sentence you. Let's say you have a violent crime, and they can sentence you as while you're in jail, you have to take these groups. Or yes, you may not get out on parole or probation. You will stay and do your entire sentence if you don't participate in the groups that are mandated, right? But even if they're not mandated, you can get time. So if you behave, you will get out early. You can. They drop time for that. So I don't necessarily want to say education is a could be a big factor because you don't know how to articulate your words or your verbatim is pretty bad. Your word choice, like, yeah, dog, I'm trying to get out. I was good in here. I was chilling. You ain't getting out that way. You can speak intelligently that'll have good things to do with you getting out or getting paroled.
Okay.
So behavior is a big thing. Behaviors are probably the number one thing in jail. I don't even think they allow inmates to get college degrees anymore.
Wow.
They used to, but I don't think they allow it anymore. I don't know on the federal level, but I'm saying I don't think you can take corresponding classes in jail anymore. Because if that was the case, there'll be a lot of doctors that are doing 10 years can get a degree. A doctor of psychology or whatever you can do. You can get any degree. If that was the case, there's grant money. They got nothing but time to apply for grants, and it'll be a lot more educated men coming out of jail to change their life. But I don't think they allow that because I don't think they want that.
I,
They
I
want to oppress you. They
I
want
like
to
what
keep
you
you
said.
down.
I
They
like
want
the
to
way you
oppress you.
said that.
They want to
They
bring you in.
want you to be able to make that license plate.
Yes, because they get $100 and pay you 40 cents an hour for that. When in some of them states that do that, do you know they even send in all mass health eye prescriptions are getting sent to the prisons to make your lenses, and they send them back.
Oh wow, that's why.
That's what mass health is doing that. So you got people that are that skilled to make prescription lenses, and they don't get out and get these kind of jobs. It's crazy.
Mm, mm, mm.
And offer this kind of work.
They got like prerequisites.
Look it up. Mass Health uses the prison system to make their to manufacture their prescriptions because it called the cost is
It's
shit.
cheaper.
That's crazy.
It's
Gregory,
legal slavery.
what do you say,
I
Gregory?
I agree with everything that Bird said, and I just wanted to add. Hold on, let me get the question again because it was something I wanted to put in there.
There's a lack of education impede a prisoner's rehabilitation or their eligibility for probation.
Okay, so if you're innocent, I agree with everything Bird said, and if you're innocent, you definitely would want to be educating yourself. You should
Bird
be
has joined
trying
the
to
meeting.
get out of the. You should be trying to get out of the prison system, especially if you're claiming you're innocent or something.
Okay. Robert, what do you say?
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Bird.
All right. Sean?
Question again, please.
Okay. Question number 5. Does a lack of education impede a prisoner's rehabilitation or their eligibility for probation?
Hmm.
Sean?
I
You
think your mic's off, Sean.
turn your mic back on.
Wow. Yeah. Sorry, I was yapping away. Um, that's it. I said, I think so. I think they're already behind the 8 ball, and to get inside and to now um not have an incentive to do better for themselves in any area that they can possibly benefit, it can like definitely mess with their mental, keep them, if they was ignorant, and keep them even more ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they just, I mean, it's a different number of things that their minds can go into while they're in there, not furthering it with any education.
But that's why a lot of those dudes that go in there, they become
Bird
part
has joined the
of
meeting.
the Islamic. They
Mm-hmm.
come,
Mm.
they come Muslim because and when they studying the Islam life, it's changing their whole perspective of the way they've been living, the way they carry themselves. So a
Mhm.
lot of them get knowledge and turn around what they've been doing, you know, on account of that they got structure in their life with the Islamic, they got structure with it, and like they're not gonna allow you to go back, take steps backwards. They gonna keep on helping you move
On the partner.
forward instead of backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sean,
Yep.
did you have more?
No, that was good too.
All right, let me bring these ladies into this. Uh, Duchess, you still with us?
Who?
Kiana.
Yeah.
So the question is, does a lack of education impede a prisoner's rehabilitation or their eligibility for probation?
I think the question should a lack of education, but um I think that it would, the system is set up for recidivism. So they want repeat offenders. So if the system was set up to have people do well, they would have programs in place for people to do well. They don't want people to do well. They want people to come back. They want people to come back, bring their friends, bring their family, like it's a fucking amusement park. Um, so it would be helpful for the people who are in the system to take every advantage known so that they have a leg up when they come outside so they don't come back.
Yes, yes. Well said, well said. Patsy.
I agree with Kiana. Like, if you don't have anything to offer these offenders to really choose to do better, or you just choose not to, even if they have programs that you can leg up and have a better opportunity when you get out. Yeah, so definitely a lack of education can impede on your parole and how long you're going to stay in and how soon you can actually get out, on parole and everything.
Mm-hmm. Tanya, what's your perspective?
I'm going to agree with the panel because everybody says some valid points and valid situations. I'm going to add that if they do get the education to give them a leg up, that and they do get parole, that there needs to be a requirement for them to have continual psychiatric care, speaking to a psychiatrist or something, because you can have different types of people like pedophiles or rapists, that's getting in, that's in jail, that goes through the program in order for them to get parole and still come out and do the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
So there needs to be a requirement that they stay in constant contact with a psych
Mm-hmm.
to be able to stay on task, or they'll find themselves right back where they was at. And the behavioral thing that Bird has said is a key factor.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with all you guys too. I'm just gonna add that I think that you're gonna get an education, one way or the other. Either you're gonna get it from the fellow inmates, or you're gonna get it from the people that they bring within to the prison system to provide you education. I think that the younger people. Well, no, I'll expand that. I'll say anybody that wants an education, that wants to acquire their high school diploma or GED, they should be given the opportunity to do so. And if you are given the
Listen, they
opportunity,
do. They
mhm,
do. I think every jail offers GED programs. I used to tutor kids in math for their GEDs. They offer culinary training. They offer maintenance training. They offer OSHA
Mm-hmm.
training. Um, there's opportunities. Some places I know people got their barber license from in some jails.
Right.
mhm,
Right.
General
The
labor.
opportunity, if you're really invested in reform, I'm
mhm,
not going to say it can't happen.
It
okay,
But if
can.
it can happen, right? But if you got to understand the dynamics of just people. It's very difficult when you do well and you feel great about getting out of prison, and you got to go back to that same shithole that got you in prison.
Mm-hmm.
It's a higher status of failure than success, right? To change the behavior, you got to change the environment.
Yeah,
So if
you
that's not a
definitely.
priority, we may have a problem. It's hard to adapt because you adapted in jail, you followed the rules, you got along, you did what you got to do, and now you're back on the street, still involved with a hood that you didn't get out of, or just affiliated with a hood that you're no longer involved in. So you still, it's difficult to adjust out in civil life. You're able to make it in that environment of structure, like everybody says, and control, because unfortunately, some people need that. Those are the repeat offenders. They
Mm-hmm.
require, discipline and control. They have to be controlled because they don't have it in enough within self to control yourself because you go back out and get in trouble again.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
B, you
I mean,
remain consistent. You alluded to the next question. All right, let's go to question number 6. No, wait a minute, let me pay these bills. All right, this episode of the Still a Man podcast is sponsored by EmporiumPlus.org. Remember, guys, EmporiumPlus.org is an online store. If you can't find what you are looking for in this store, then you are not shopping in the right store. Robert, tell all the viewers what they can find in EmporiumPlus.org.
Well, for our inmates or our prisoners, I'm believing that you guys can put your fingers to a computer these days. So type in EmporiumPlus.org where you will find fashions in all brands. And be forever still a man, you serum. SOS support our sisters, adopt a parish ladies first, adopt a parish, some merchant EmporiumPlus.org. And for our viewers that been hanging in there with us, we appreciate your subscription. You can also smash a like, spam a emoji in our comment section.
Drop a fire
Other
emoji.
thing, I will ask for the ones who haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Join us, smash a like, and spam an emoji in the comments. We appreciate you guys.
Okay.
everything 50% off.
Mm-hmm. You can you can you can send the bill to Bird. You Bird, what got come to you? Oh, you know what? Let me say this. So all you people that do have loved ones that are vacationing in the state pen or something like that, y'all can go online and y'all can purchase an adapt or parish t-shirt for them. So when they and make that a part of their re-entry into the free world. A welcome back present. All right.
We have a shirt for you. Bend, don't break.
Mm, okay. You might find something in there that sounds like that. All right, so question number 6. Question number 6. According to research, once you are branded a criminal, you are locked out of unemployment, housing, voting rights, and financial stability. Ooh. Do you agree or disagree with that? Bert?
Uh, can agree. I can. CAN. I can agree that it does lock you out, but it doesn't lock you out for long. If you can hang in there, it gets greater later. And I speak that true life facts. It was nasty getting out. Nasty. 3 job nasty. And I'm doing quite well a few years later.
I'm,
So
I'm,
it can happen. I could have gave up. I could have reverted back to them old ways, old days, but you know, I found my God, and He told me to just hang in there. He was testing me, and I passed.
yeah, I'm loving it. And
True life testament.
I like what you said too. It gets greater later. I like that. That's a
It
good
can, but
mantra.
you gotta believe in something. Because if you, I mean, even when it's hard, you still gotta believe, and that's a hard task when you heard so much, or you didn't believe that there was a God. It seemed pretty hard to believe, but I believe.
Okay. Let's go to one of the ladies. Patsy, what do you say?
Can you give me the question again?
Yep. Question number 6. According to research, once you are branded a felon, you are locked out of employment, housing, voting rights, and financial stability. Do you agree or disagree?
It's a little bit of both. Definitely voting rights. Because federally speaking, given that you're a felon now, you have definitely you lose all your voting rights.
That's not true,
Um,
Patsy. I'm a convicted felon and I vote. When
well,
you're
that's what I've been
incarcerated,
told. That's
when you're
what I've been told.
incarcerated, you cannot vote. Or it might be that way in some states. I would hope not, but I vote.
Yeah, but it's definitely harder to get your housing, financial gain in order because when you're looked at and they a job looks at your or housing looks at your record and your query, they're gonna question like why you there, why were you a felon and all this, and they're questionable
There's a lot of Corey
about
friendly jobs
getting
out there.
hiring people, you know?
Airports hire. Definitely look up Corey Friendly. It's not as bad
Yeah,
as it used to be. There's a lot of people, they get tax breaks for hiring a certain amount of people that have poor records and shit. So they doing it now.
Yup, the
yeah, they're
union.
doing it now, but years ago, like 20, 30 years ago, they look at a person that has a felon record
I mean, they
and
can't even ask you that question no more.
yeah,
So just to be fair to what Patsy's saying, not even 20, 30 years ago, they're still doing the current day. It depends on who you are in front of because a lot of people do things that they're not supposed to do, but people discriminate every day in every situation.
right. And they're not just looking, sometimes they don't even look at your color. They just look at your record and be like, damn, do I really want you as a worker? Do I want to hire you?
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
know, so yeah.
makes sense, makes sense. Gregory, what do you say? Do
Can
you
I
agree
get the
or
question again?
disagree? According to research, once you are branded a felon, you are locked out of employment, housing, voting rights, and financial stability. Do you agree or disagree with these findings?
Um, because I know the system is rigged against certain people, I'm gonna agree with that. And that's by design. No mistake.
Okay. Duchess, what do you say?
I'm sorry. Do you mind repeating the question as
No
well?
worries. Question number 6. According to research, once you are branded a felon, you are locked out of employment, housing, voting rights, and financial stability. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree that a lot of your I don't want to say rights, but rights and opportunities are taken from you when you have that blemish
Friend.
on your record.
Mm-hmm.
Patsy has left the meeting.
You got more?
Um, no, I just think that people should be wise, but again, if somebody set up
Go on.
a
Hold on.
I don't know, some potholes down the street and covered it with snow, you'll never know until you hit it. So just be aware that everybody's trying to take you down.
It's a great metaphor. Uh,
Patsy has joined the meeting.
let's go to Robert.
I kind of lean towards agreeing exactly what Kiana just said, but I also know um if you weigh it out, things do get better in life. Like it might not happen right when you get out, but you might meet someone that can show you how to do it a different way. And then there's some men that come out, if they can't literally get housing for themselves, but they have the funds and they're with a lady. Hey, listen, babe, we're gonna buy a house. And I'm gonna put up all this money, put everything in your name because I know I can't do it in mine right now. But if you trust within your spouse or your loved one, there's always ways to better yourself when someone's trying to hold you down.
Uh, Tanya, what do you say?
Repeat the question, please.
According to research, once you are branded a felon, you are locked out of housing, employment, voting rights, and financial stability.
I'm going to agree with Bird. I'm going to agree with Kiana, agree with Robert. It gets better with time. And there's some jobs and some housing that you're locked out of. It depends on what state you live in, what laws have changed. Because I know in Florida, if you was a felon, you couldn't vote, and they changed that law um, to allow them to vote because they served their time. They paid their dues, so they was reincarcerated, reintegrated as a citizen, so they gained their right to vote back. So um, it's a mixed bag.
Okay, it's a beautiful thing. Sean, what do you say?
I'm agree with the majority of the panel and mainly with Bird. Like in time, things can look up for you. Might not happen to for you right away, but in time, things will hopefully change and turn around for you.
Yeah, it
Um,
took years, Sean. It took years.
and I'm glad you where you are, brother.
And believing in something, man. I tell you no lie, man. Where I was and where I'm at is like two different universes.
See, and hearing that testimony, like I don't know personally, but hearing that lets me know it debunks some of the things that I have heard because I'm hearing how I'm assuming that it's got to be certain states to where you know Tanya just educated me on Florida allowing convicted felons to be able to vote. I didn't know that.
I think there's
Bird,
more states like that too.
yeah, because like right now, if you can recall, there's a lady that's going through something right now from is she from Georgia who tried to vote and the courts are still trying to get her and it's now 6 7 8 years later they're still trying to get her
Wow,
because she tried to vote. They're still trying to put her in jail for it.
wow, that's crazy. Tim, you
So
still with us?
It
Sorry.
shouldn't be crazy. That's a Republican state. They're trying to do anything to keep people
oh yeah.
marginalized, people marginalized.
Well, you know why I say it's crazy, Key, because it's the fact that these mother suckers are able to do this blatantly, like right before your very eyes. Like these people are basically like
A cheater
whatever
and a liar is always going to be a cheater and a liar. So
they're twins. They're triplets, cheater, liar, and a abuser. Sean, did you have more?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Timmy, are you still with
Yeah,
us? All right, so
yeah.
same question. According to research, once you are branded or a felon, you are locked out of housing, employment, uh, financial
How is that?
stability.
How is that? Because they have fucking sex offenders living, and they alert you when there's a sex offender nearby. So I think they had just passed or changed the law for because you know the felons and if you don't have nothing to build on, then you might most likely you will be back in jail.
Okay.
So I think that you should have some type of craft work, you know, to fall back on. A lot of them just don't do it because they ain't got the patience. But then there's those who does it and be successful. So for me, I think it's just the individual wanting to do better. That's what I think it is, really.
All
If
right.
you want to do better and you're tired of struggling and you don't want to keep going back, then you're going to make a change. That's what
The
people
death
do, make a change. When things are not working that way, then they change, they go there another direction.
All right, Timmy, stay right there. I'm gonna hit y'all with this. This is question number 7. We got three more after that. We're going to 10. So this is question number 7. Should repeat violent offenders be granted probation, bail, or parole? Timmy,
It all depends on what they violating.
repeat
Not
violent
reporting.
repeat violent offenders.
Oh, they the main ones that's always getting away. They're the main ones, the repeaters, the main ones that get in constant uh chances. They be having 15, 20, 25. Some of these they be bragging about their fucking long list of charges that they have. Like it's some type of badge. And for the life of me, I can't understand why these same people that's constantly that got 20 or more goddamn charges, why they keep on getting out. Why somebody who just, offended themselves, they defended themselves and they done hurt somebody. Now they gonna slap them harder than the person that keep coming back and forth in front of the judge. They gonna slap that dude with some hard time when this repeater keep getting out.
Okay, so do you think that they should be allowed bail, parole, or probation? The repeat offenders, the violent ones?
I think you should, keep a track on them. Keep that damn. The first time you can't be lenient. You got to play hardball to let them know that you ain't playing and you fall by my rules, or your ass to go back in that fucking jail behind those walls.
Okay,
So you have to play hardball with them, let them know I ain't going for no nonsense. And you come in, when I ask you to come in and I want to see you doing productive things outside, that means getting the job and all that. If you can't do all that, then you just let me know. I can turn you back in right then and there.
okay. Patsy, same question. Should repeat violent offenders be allowed to bail, parole, or probation? Or should I say granted? Same thing.
Um, if they come back in a second time, they need to do some jail time before they even get some probation, just to get the gist. Like, you just ain't gonna get a slap on the wrist right now. You do 6 to 9 months, 12 months, 18 months stint for their violent crime, and if they get out that second time and they repeat that third time, a lot of states like 3 strikes and you're out and you're in jail for the amount of time that's definitely like the longer term option because you done repeated a third time. Mm-hmm. So the more times you offend, the longer your sentence should be. You can't just get out on probation easily all the time. And you gotta get a lesson, get your butt licked a few times just to kind of teach you as a lesson.
Get your butt licked, Fancy?
Right? Well,
That's
you
where
know
you at?
No
I
how
don't
ass
know.
licking.
your
You got
ass
some
work,
training to
whatever
do,
where
Patsy.
doing jail time, meaning that.
Okay. Bert, you got something to say to that?
I'm still processing getting your butt licked, but all right,
Well,
I can
I
move
don't
on
mean
now. I'm ready. I don't know what
like
you meant.
by another inmate. I mean
Okay.
getting your ass worked and
Okay,
getting jail
let's say
time.
that. Right, you went extra with the butt lick. You threw me off. But
Well,
you
you
came
know
back.
what
You
I
came
mean.
back.
Like,
I know now. I was confused a minute ago, but
Especially talking about prison.
right, with jelly. What was it? Getting your salad tossed back then?
Oh Lord
You
have
either get it
mercy.
with
Y'all
jelly
keep
or
it
syrup
together.
or some
Y'all keep
butter.
it together.
and it's like
All
the
right.
more you do something wrong when you're growing up as a child, your mother busted your butt and told you to go get something so she could whip that
She
ass and
wasn't
lick
gonna lick your butt though.
it
She go get that switch so I can lick your butt.
All right,
anyway.
Bert.
Well,
Bert,
you know what I meant.
Oh,
Bert,
I do. I do. Let's go, David.
Bert, the
Repeat
question
the
is on
question. I
you.
was thrown off.
Question number 7. Oh shoot, y'all.
Let's go, David.
All
I
right,
see you distracted right now.
yeah, yeah.
That whole
Y'all
butt
done,
licking thing got you
Yeah.
confused now too, huh?
y'all done made me hit a button, and I done went back
Right.
three shows.
You don't even know what to say
All
now.
right, so here we go.
Go ahead.
Should repeat offenders be allowed bail, parole, or probation?
It is actually a right that you have to be bailed out. You have a right to get parole unless you get a sentence with no parole. You get life, no parole, that's that. You out. But everybody gets an opportunity. You can get 40 years with parole eligibility in 20 or
Right.
25. So, but then that is all
Right.
up to you and what you've done. Hopefully you've done something productive enough where they believe that you can go back into society. So even repeat
Right.
offenders still have a right to probation, bail, or parole.
Okay.
Unless, well, bail, I don't know. Bail's different depending on, you got a man attempted murder or first degree murder and murdered 3 people. I don't know if you are eligible. You shouldn't be. You should be deemed a menace and not let out until this case is over.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right. Right.
there is some rights out there that allow people to at least have an opportunity for bail, unless it's that heinous and you're that much of a danger. You
Right.
killed 3 grandmothers in a nursing home. You don't get bail. You don't get nothing.
Right. Right.
You don't pass
They
go. You don't
gone.
collect $200. You have a good life. You in jail for the rest of your life or the death
Your
penalty.
bill's gonna be high where you can't even afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Kiana,
matter.
all right, let's
You
bring
can tell. You only got
Kiana.
to come up with 10% of that.
Kiana, what you say? Turn your mic on, Duchess.
I heard. So what was the question? Repeat
Should
defense.
should repeat violent offenders be granted bail, parole, or probation?
I mean, if you're sentenced correctly, you shouldn't be out on the street. But if you're awaiting sentencing or you are waiting a trial, I feel like there should be stipulations on that. I know everybody's got rights, yada yada, freaking yada. But you don't got the right to be killing people. So I don't think so, and I think it depends on the nature of the crime.
Brimage, what you say?
Kind of leading towards what Kiana was saying, but yeah, all of them they're allowed to come back out. I mean, with supervised probation visits. Um, they either charge them a serious high fine. They also they might add to their sentence. They also they if they had a driver's license, they lose their driver's license. If you didn't have one, you can't get one. It's just a lot of your rights, is taken from you, and it's a struggle now.
Okay. Gregory?
You said peak violence, right? Not repeat.
Repeat.
Oh,
Repeat.
repeat aggressive. But okay, so in that word in general, because it's being repeated, I'm gonna have to quote the weasel. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me can't get fooled. Your ass needs to be punished. It's simple as that. And I don't think that
What happened?
I'm still here. All right. So,
He's
Gregory,
on
you
mute.
done?
could you hear me? Could you hear
Yeah.
me?
No,
Did I
We
no.
go
hear you
out?
now.
After
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
yeah.
did.
started quoting
The
Oh,
weasel.
George
excuse
W.
me, the
Bush
weasel.
Jr.
So I was saying it should be imperative that we switch up the way that these people go into the system, especially if the nature of the crime is super violent and deadly. They should be evaluating these people off the rip. They should be seeing if there's some type of mental disturbance, what type of environment that these people grew up in, and a whole bunch of stuff should happen when you get these type of offenders.
Nah, damn that.
And
That's
then
why you got
this
them in there the first time. They don't. No, no. That's too
this
much.
cer-
Too much time and energy.
no, I'm saying the first time they go in for some type of deadly aggressive crime, like they said, like killing three ladies or something, you need your evaluation. Or even if they just did a manslaughter case, you still should be evaluated, because now this person could be lying and get off with a 10-year or 5-year sentence or something, and this person really needs to be behind bars for the rest of their life. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? And you would never know unless you do this mental evaluation off the rip, because something might be wrong with that person.
There's something is wrong with them. There's something wrong
And
with.
certain crimes, I don't think that there is no rehabilitating people, like rape. Or if you're a mass rapist and you rape more than you rape one person, you should be put down like a dog.
Mm.
And
No.
that's just the one person you got caught raped.
Mm.
You probably done raped many times before, but they can listen, they can give you some type of um shot that can alter certain portions of the brain. There's a shot or a medication that can change your sexual composure where you don't really get to think about it, or you don't have those sensations or feelings of anger, or just like they give people those Vivitrol shots that reverse any opioids or any drug, alcohol, anything. You get a shot once a month and it won't allow those receptors get blocked that take in that dopamine or whatever it is that's going in your system. So you could drink a case of beer and never get drunk if you get this shot every.
Right.
Mm.
Now
So,
that
But
is a
some
tax-paying
people find a problem
experiment.
with that because
That
who's paying for that?
well,
And
that's what
this
I'm
would
saying.
now look, they done took our taxes to do all these transgender studies. Why can't they study something like that that'd be life-changing and productive for the betterment of our society?
It don't benefit
That's
them.
the future, though. That's what's going to happen at some point because they're coming up with stuff. And just the world's going to evolve more and progress more. But I don't know if they can mandate you. That would
that's
be
what
some
I was
sort
gonna say. You can't make somebody do that because some people believe that that is inhumane. You can't treat a person like a dog.
In a
I
world
get
that
it.
like
And if it'll stop a rapist, I'm all for it.
yep,
But I'm like, what did the rapists do when they treated this person like they was a dog?
mm-hmm. Stop.
Exactly. That was my thinking too. If you act like a dog, you get treated like a dog.
So now you want to
And you
spay
got to
and neuter them.
understand now. I think you got to understand most of those rapists have been raped.
You're right.
Majority of
Exactly.
molested.
And that's why I said
The
there is no
majority of abusive
rehabilitating
people
that.
have been abused, so that's a learned behavior. That just didn't one day pop into your head. That started in your adolescent days of
Mm.
maybe being molested or been raped by Uncle Henry or
Could be it.
whatever. So there's a bigger dynamic than what we say, and I'm biased against it, but I don't want to believe in it, but I have to be real with myself and know that that's the majority of the component. The majority of these crimes and the majority of these behaviors that are out here were all learned from somewhere or
Right.
taught by
Exactly.
someone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
So we
you
just
know, you
don't
gotta
grow up to
also
do this.
think on the flip side of that, not every child that gets molested goes and repeats to
No,
others what they've been done.
Mhm.
no, but most people that are molesters have been molested.
Okay. Tanya and
Yes.
Sean, thank you for waiting patiently. Tanya, what do you say? Should repeat violent offenders be granted bail, parole, or probation?
No, I don't think repeat. And what is a violent offender? Because we have some white collar crimes that are violent crimes. And what I mean by that is like, look at this Medicaid scam.
Hmm.
It's causing people our stuff getting taken away from us. It's gonna cause people to die.
Mm. Okay.
So no, I don't think. And what do you, and how do you prosecute the repeat offenders of these big businesses that's taking advantage of people, are stealing their money that cause them to kill themselves.
Well,
That's
you
a
don't have
crime.
a president who lets them go. So therefore, and a lot of people have been committing Medicare fraud for years. So there's a bunch of aspects, but our current administration is problematic in a lot of this stuff too.
Mhm.
And you really can't uh do much to them but hurt their pocket. Hit
Mhm.
them where it hurts. They love their damn money. All billionaires, millionaires, they love their money. They hate to separate from it when it comes to a case, a
Yeah.
court case.
Then
They
Right.
hate
then
that. They
then
really
they
hate that.
and then they can become violent. Let's
Yeah.
Tanya, did you have more or can I
Well,
go to
that's
Sean?
what I wanted to say that no, I don't think that they're like. I agree with some of what Bird said. I agree with some of what Kiana said, and I agree with about people who've been molested. Molesters have been molested in the past. That's why I stated that people need to have continual psyche vows.
Mhm. Okay,
Can I
Sean.
can can I interject?
Yeah, and then we're gonna go to Sean. Go
Can
ahead,
I
Sean.
interject, add on to this? This government doesn't want to pay for programs to help people. So
Right,
that is an uphill battle. They're
Yeah,
cutting
right.
programs left and right. That's why the police are dealing with people um, who have psychiatric problems. That's not even in their realm. That's not what they went
Training
to
for.
training for or none of that. Because all of the social programs are being uh, if they're not
deleted.
closed, they're being underfunded or or cutbacks or one person's doing 10 people's jobs. So the the nature of adding uh, offenders onto that is probably never going to happen in this society that we live in with the thoughts that we have. Um, but that's a different topic
Topic.
for a different.
And put a star next to that because we'll come back to that. Sean.
And the billionaires are the ones who are doing all the crooked crimes, the blue collar crimes,
Mhm.
like Tanya said, they're doing the blue collar crimes, but they're also doing federal crimes like transporting foreign chicks over here to America and then passing them around. just like what Puppy was doing. He learned
Hold
from the
on,
billionaire.
hold on, guys. Listen. Let's stay on topic because we're gonna get off topic, start going in that round. Let's go. Let's let Sean answer this question. We got two more. We only on question 7. Sean, should repeat violent offenders be granted bail, probation, or parole?
I would say I would answer it like this: they deserve whatever their rights allow them to have.
All right. Let me see. I'm gonna stay with you, Sean. So guys, this is the speed round. uh 1 minute or less. I have to put that timer on. All right, this is a good question. Question number 8. According to research, the prison system is plagued with racial disparity, and it often results in long-term incarceration and the dehumanization of minorities. Again, so let me read that to you guys one more time. I kind of sped through that one. Question number 8. According to research, the prison system is plagued with racial disparity, and it often results in long-term incarceration and the dehumanization of minority prisoners. Sean, do you agree or disagree with these findings?
I agree with that. I mean, it's been set up like that since day one, and it's what makes the prison operate and function. So yeah, I agree with that. I believe that's a true statement. That's a reality.
Okay. Gregory, you agree or disagree with those findings?
Um, from the beginning, from your officer, to your patrol, to your police, it's always been designed that way. That whole system was made up by the KKK. They were supposed to be patrolling their cattle, right? Their property. And then we moved into a system that never changed from back then. So it's like crazy to even think or even ask questions. You want to change something, we got to go back to the beginning and change it.
Okay. Bert, what do you say? Bert, gotta turn your mic on.
Can you repeat that? I was moving around.
Yep, no worries. Question number 8. According to research, the prison system is plagued with racial disparity, and it often results in long-term incarceration and the dehumanization of minority prisoners.
Yes, absolutely yes. Witness with my eyes, yes. All I can say is yes.
Okay.
That's how they keep you down.
Robert?
I agree with Sean and Bird.
Okay. This is easy enough. Duchess?
Yes, they don't call it the school to prison pipeline for nothing. Yes.
Ooh. Timmy?
It's called survival. Only the strong will survive. It's called survival.
Okay. Patsy?
I definitely agree. It went from the loss of these plantations into how do we get these former slaves into our custody.
Ooh.
So that's how they formed these prisons
Mm.
to keep former slaves, and now out to just the today's venue of keeping black folks down.
Okay. T, what you say?
Facts.
All right. I'm gonna stay with you, Tanya. Question number 9. Are men or women more likely to experience prison prisoner reentry issues? So again, are men or women more likely to experience prisoner reentry issues? So simply put, reacclimating with the community once they're released? Tanya?
Men.
Men? Reason being?
They want to keep the men down.
Easy answer. Patsy?
Um, Definitely men because they want to trip men up and um because they got a bigger reaction to fight physically. Women fight in a different way than men do, so ours is a mental than rather than physical fight, you know?
I'm loving you guys' mindsets tonight, y'all's the literally I'm loving it. Keep going. Duchess, what you say?
Can you repeat the question?
Are men or women more likely to experience prisoner reentry issues?
I think men are, because I really feel like the programs are more geared towards women, and women can get interwoven back into the community easier with um, different jobs, different the housing, all of that. I don't think that that system is set up for men. And again, it's all by design to keep men continuously going into the system so that they can make money off of you and make you do menial jobs for damn near free. They get paid hand over fist.
Love it, love it. Let's hear from the gentleman. Timmy, same question. Are men or women more likely to experience prisoner reentry issues?
I say 50-50 because they doing the same thing to women as they doing to men. There's more women in prison now more than ever than there is men now. Even though the men has got them, hands down because of the all the men that's been in and out of jail, but now the women are starting to fill up the goddamn prisons as well, you know. So I would say 50-50.
Okay. Robert? Gotta turn your mic on.
Sorry, I'm agree with Kiana.
Gregory? You gotta turn your mic on.
Minister of Conspiracy has left the meeting.
Bird?
Minister of Conspiracy has joined the meeting.
Go ahead.
Are men or women more likely to experience prisoner reentry issues?
Um, I want to say men higher, but women are definitely going back in left and right. Probably a lot more for drug crimes, but I would say men.
Okay.
But the women are on the rise.
Women are on the rise. Okay. Gregory, can you hear us?
Yep, I
Yep.
agree with Bird. And what Kiana said in the last question, that school to prison pipeline. But a little bit deeper than that, you got the whole dynamic where they take the father out the home and then make the woman dependent, and then the school comes in and programs your kid, and then it's a whole bunch of programming after that, all the way up into the prison system. So,
Okay. Sean?
agreeing with my panelists.
Sean, same question. Are women
I
or men more likely to experience prisoner reentry issues?
I would like to say the men because um, it's a combination of the system being against them, and then some that aren't strong in their mind and in their will might allow that to be a hindrance and cause them to not put forth an effort to even try to do better.
Okay.
And Uncle D, I wanted to quote this black activist lady. I forgot because my phone had went out. He said that they take the fathers out the home and then they have the mothers raise the kids. And then later on in life, they come back and take the boys from the mothers because the mothers shouldn't be raising the boys and put them back in the real father's hands, which is the system, anyways. It's crazy.
Yeah, we got work to do.
Can I ask
Yep.
something, Dave? I think that to go with what I said about the men, there's so much misogyny going on against the women right now that I think that they can control us, and they want to have the opportunity to beat us down because we're the biggest voting bloc.
Mm-hmm. All right, you guys, this is the last question. And I'm gonna say Bird's gonna end the show. Um and IB, so don't go nowhere. Bird,
Yeah.
you're gonna end the show, so don't go nowhere.
All
All
right.
right, so question number 10, guys. Have prisons become inhumane, and are there any alternative uh methods to correct criminal behavior? You guys got that, or do I need to read it again? All right, I'm gonna read it again. Have prisons become inhumane, and are there any alternative methods to correct criminal behavior? We are going to go to Patsy first.
Um, for the most part, yes, they have become inhumane. Is there any way that they can actually get better? Is basically what the other half.
Yeah, do you have any? Are there any alternative correction plans?
Um, there's always an alternative depending on the crime and the the degree of the crime and whether or not you're a repeat offender. And yes, there are alternatives, and depending on how many times you're offended or if you're a first time offender. Um, and the system can do better altogether, anyways.
Okay.
I mean, let's look at the person too. It can't just be the system all the time. Some
Mm-hmm.
people have to take
That's
accountability.
basically what I just said in my answer. It depends on the offender and whether or not they're a repeat offender or first time, and just the situation.
Okay. Thank you for your participation and your insight. Timmy, same question. Have prisons become inhumane? And if so, are there any alternative methods to correct the criminal behavior?
First and foremost, prison ain't supposed to be no paradise. It's supposed to be inhumane because of it's supposed to break you. And the alternative is don't go to goddamn jail.
Okay.
Don't do nothing that's gonna land you there. That's the goddamn alternative. If you don't want to live inhumane, then don't do nothing to go to jail.
Thank you for your participation and your insight. Gregory, what do you say?
Um, it's like action, a lion in the zoo. If he wants to be a lion in the wild, it's just inhumane. Period. In the Bible, at the beginning, I don't even think that they was imprisoning people. They was banishing them from wherever they lived. So when you get to this point where you're asking if it's humane or not, just know that when you lock up animals, they don't live the same as free animals. You get what I'm saying? So freedom is your illusion too, by the way, because look, when they started realizing that they was hurting the animals that are locked up all the time, they started trying to make walk around zoos and stuff where the animals are free, and maybe you're the one that's, it's all from perspective. Humanity, the freedom to be free, it's all an illusion.
Okay. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you. Uh, let's go to Robert. Robert, what do you say?
Hit me with that question again, please.
Okay. Um, question number 10. Have prisons become inhumane, and are there any alternative methods to correct criminal behavior?
To the first part of that question, yes, they have. But then again, when was there when was there a time in life that there wasn't? So we're just only really talking about it more because it's shoved down our, in our past, in our face more than ever now. But this always been a place of horror. I don't know how they figure it was going to help someone. So we have choices in life. Why set yourself up in a predicament that is not conducive for you, in any good way? I do say this: there's evil and there's good. So the alternative to not having to worry about this prison program, then we make choices not to put ourselves in a predicament that's going to set us up for failure. So meaning don't go do any crime. And from a religion's realm, I mean, I say if you had a choice to pick hell or heaven, I would think the most sanest person is going to pick heaven, and you ain't going to want to punish yourself with going to hell.
Okay. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you. Ah, Duchess, what do you say?
And yes, they're inhumane. They're also disgusting. There's mold. There's buildings are rotten. They got prisoners several to a room. They don't take people when they're sick. So yes, it's inhumane. Um, what is the alternative? The alternative is in the beginning, education. And if a child is failing, you support that child because not every child learns the same. So it's preventative instead of trying to do it at the end
I
or in the
love it.
middle.
Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you. Sean, what's your perspective? Have prisons become inhumane, and are there any alternative methods to correct the criminal behavior?
Hmm. Um, from what I've read, from what I've heard, some prison are inhumane. You have your overcrowding, you have your no heat, no air, bad food. And what are they doing to correct all of that? I have no idea, sir.
Okay. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you. Tanya, what you say, beloved?
Yes, they are inhumane. Um, what I have to say is that one of Jesus' last command was to feed his sheep. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. The sheep are not being fed and they're not loving their neighbor.
Love it, love it, love it. I appreciate your insight. Bert, go ahead. Take us home. School the people. The floor is yours.
I don't want to say I can school you. I definitely hear what everybody's saying. And again, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Jail is supposed to be a deterrent. It's not supposed to be in the best things because you are hopefully deterred from coming back there. If you're somebody that needs structure in your life, that's what that place is set up for. So I don't want to necessarily throw knowledge because I'm mixed in both ends. It is a shitty place to be. And it told me I ain't no punk, but I ain't built to be told and controlled and told to shut up and fuck you and bitch and get up, go to bed, get up and eat, don't eat, lock your door. I'm not built for that. I need a better way of living. I need to control my life. I don't want to give control of my life to nobody. So if you don't like it, don't go back. I didn't like it from the beginning. I didn't know what it was like. I didn't do what I did on purpose to be there, but that's the way some things work out. You know, when the devil's in control, I was controlled by the devil. But now I'm trying to stay out of any means, any way, anything, not to ever have to be back in a place like that again. Not because they broke me, because I know my worth and my value in this world isn't being in jail. I got a family, I got children, I got a world, I got everything. So nope, I'm not built for that. And it ain't meant to be a pretty place for you to think it's okay to just keep coming back. They strip you of your humanity. They strip you of everything, and for you to take it back.
Knowledge.
That's all I have to say about that.
Knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, guys. See you next week. God bless you.